example. Okay, so it's dot star, which means example, and then anything after it. I'm going to map it to the script main.example. And so now I have to go to the main.py file and create a example router. And so I'm just going to copy a bunch of code and change the variable name to example. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this line. I'm going to delete this line from here. And so now this should be working again, right? Because I have the example mapped to main example, and main example is here, and I have this route mapped to the main handler, so this should still work. Okay, great. See, it refreshed and it's still working. It didn't break. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the main handler, and I'm going to make a new one called example handler. And instead of printing hello world, I'm going to print example. I'm going to change this to example handler. So now what I have done is I am still mapping the path example, but I've changed the handler that's going to handle this request. I've changed it to handler, and now my example handler should print out example to our screens. I'm going to refresh, and sure enough, it does. Okay, great. So let's see what happens if I hit the request example_2. Again, it doesn't work because this is not mapped in our main.example router. So I'm going to go ahead and add it, and again refresh, and it should be working now. Sure enough, it is working. Okay, let's see what we can do next. Let's delete this generic handler. So now our application is only handling requests that begin with example. So